Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of The Outer Worlds. When we last left off, we made it to Stellar Bay, which is on Monarch. Next to that giant planet, I think it's called Olympus? I think it's Olympus. Learning a whole new solar system has been quite a lot, especially because right now I'm reading a book that has a lot of like solar entities in it. Also, last night, this might date this episode a little bit. Last night, there was you could see Jupiter, like really clear. It's a bright little dot. Let's see what's in here. I know I didn't stop in that, whatever that is, but I'm gonna stop in here first.
Wouldn't mind smelling like saltuna if we could sell more of it.
That's fair. Got anything back here? Oh, this room's really empty. Boring. Hi, workers. New machine. Oh, excuse me. Just gotta go to the restroom. Never mind, I don't have to go anymore. Wage determined by merit of your work. Can I just steal your guys' bits? Do you care about that shit? A grenade launcher too would be nice to sell. I like how you guys just walked in here whenever I decided to come in here. Waited like a minute or whatever. This place is huge. Where am I? Hello.
Look, you can tell Catherine the new shipment will be ready when it's ready, all right? She's welcome to come up here and pack boxes herself if she's in such a hurry.
What are you talking about?
Sorry. Seems I got my cables crossed. Thought you were another shakedown tough from Fallbrook. Hope you can forgive my temper. This job has been running me ragged lately. First, my autoloader foreman stages a walkout, and now my chief pescatological health manager is missing.
Your chief what?
Braxton. He's in charge of getting the fish fat, but also making sure they don't get too many tumors. He's a real wizard with pharmaceuticals, but he has creative notions of working hours. Comes with living in a free colony, I guess.
Don't you have rules about that sort of thing?
We're not keen on rules for rules' sake around here. Means Braxton skips work sometimes, but it also means no company boss is telling me when I can take a shit.
These MSI types are living the dream.
Since you don't seem to be constrained yourself, maybe you could check up on him. He lives in the apartments. Tell him Velma said to get his lazy ass down here, or she might start noticing those extra jugs he's been taking from supply. Something else on your mind?
You said Braxton's been stealing drugs?
Stealing's such a nasty word. Let's call it skimming. And yeah, let's just say I've noticed the sterile biotics we use for the fish would get used a little faster on Braxton's shifts.
Why didn't you turn him in?
We're not like those corporate towns where you get fined for sleeping on the wrong side of the bed.
That's fair.
Besides, the Spacer's Choice stuff we use is cheap enough. And Braxton knows how to get the Saltuna, fat and mostly tumor-free.
Who's this Catherine you mentioned when I first came in here?
Sublight boss out of Fallbrook. Handles most goods that come in or out of Stellar Bay.
Sublight.
Has a mouth like a Ground 6 Spacer.
Okay, we have to talk about Caleb.
Unless you're here to tell me he's agreed to do his job again, I've got nothing to say.
Caleb says they need a raise to keep up with the prices around here.
Tell him to complain to Catherine in Fallbrook, not me. Sublight's demanding more money for the same contracts, which means we're all in the same boat.
Hard workers, aren't they? Don't they deserve some compensation for that?
Hard workers? They turn dials and flip switches. The machines do all the actual work.
I'll wager she don't pay those folks that maintain the mechanicals decent neither.
Caleb and his crew have it better than anyone else around here, I'll tell you that much. If Caleb wants to keep this job, he'd better get back to it. I'm about ready to hire sublight contractors at this rate.
Well, if you're hiring, are you willing to meet Caleb halfway?
For running me ragged while he takes an extended leave at the bar? Not on your life.
It's fair. I don't know how I would have resolved that one yet. Ooh, what's up here? Don't mind me, I'll be taking Caleb's shift.
Okay, gone quiet.
Didn't seem to notice. I like these little parkour courses. Ooh, look at all these fish. Ugh, frick, I missed it by that much. This goes out to the main area. I'll have to get back up there. Busy tea. Nobody ever looks up. Also a quote from the book I just read last night. Didn't know that's what I'd be talking about today, but that's okay. Pescatological incision implement. The fish stock could use a good cleaning. Oh, I wish I could clean it for you guys. Excuse me, Parf. I missed my jump, so you know. I'll try again. Try again. I made it that time. They should hardly be stealing. What's she gonna do? That guy would totally see me. This is just fun. Hit. Oh, that's gonna hurt. Yeah, that always hurts. Okay. What else we got? What else we got? Wholesamer. Yeah, it's not worth it. Actually, she's got her back turned, right? He's got his back turned. Nice. I feel like this is too easy. Fish. Well, that's Saltuna that Spacer's Choice is saying they have. But they don't actually have. Oh, she could have seen me. One more. This time I'm actually hidden. Oh god, he moved. Jeez, I got lucky. Let's talk to this guy.
Plenty of work to do, especially with so many no-shows.
Oh. Whoa. Where are we now? I didn't expect to be able to walk around out here. I don't want to know how that works, but it looks like Halo. Yeah, I'm in screw thingy majiggers on Halo. I think they're called the Halo thingies. Secrets! Oh no. Bloody note. Let's read that. Couple don't know found on a corpse in Cellar Bay. Most detectives note is obscured by blood. You can make out the words Lilia and passcode Antivulon. I see no blood. Interesting. Where does that go? Okay, we would definitely want to go down there. I want to finish exploring this building, though. Yeah, there's an upstairs. Aha!
I'm going.
Wow, nice work.
How did you know? So I got a signed tossball card. Hell yeah. It's like I could hear that through the door, and I know it was impressive by the way I heard it. Personal files. Oh, my hack isn't high enough. Mash random keys. Yes, it is. Shank and 23A are looking a little lumpy. If you're not going to make it in, that's fine. But you have to let me know so I can stay on top of those the doses, Velma. Mr. Nandy, we really need to talk about the Saltuna situation. I've had to let 4 batches rot in the warehouse over the last 2 months because we're not finding buyers. I know the situation the board puts us in a tough spot, but we need to start thinking about how we're going to keep Stellar Bay afloat if we can't get sales up. Brax, seriously, where are you? You've missed 3 shifts. This is getting ridiculous, even for you. My hack isn't high enough.
Be right there.
Is it because they're not with me? No. Oops. Well, maybe if we help her with Brax, she will, Hey, all the people left. Nice. Okay. So we found a secret place that we need to go explore. What is this place? Hello.
Could I get another advance, Mr. Nandi?
Just make sure it's properly logged.
I'll note it next to the others, sir.
Oh, another vending machine. Hey, what's up?
Greetings, and welcome to Monarch Stellar Industries, producers and purveyors of the finest salt tuna in Halcyon. What can I do for you today?
What was that exchange about? You having money trouble?
Or is he not paying you on account of how he tried to fix the thing his own self and busted it even worse, and then said you wasn't fixing it fast enough, so he's docking your wages again? Not that I got any prior experience with such.
Not at all. Mr. Nandi treats us all right and pays us well. I just spent most of my paycheck on Raptidon acid.
Do you normally blow your money on Raptidon parts?
Laws, no. Sometimes it's canid teeth, or mantis worm wings. Whatever Sebastian has in stock, really.
Why are you buying so much from Sebastian?
So I can talk to him, of course. He doesn't get going about much else.
I reckon she's got a little bit of a squish on this fella.
He's sort of the strong, silent type. Unfortunately, my apartment's kind of filling up with his stuff, and some of the neighbors are complaining about the smell.
Just ask him on a date.
I couldn't. What if he says no?
Then he said,
Hey, maybe you could ask him for me. I mean, a no would still be bad, but it won't be quite as embarrassing if you
I don't like
ask.
that every female is incapable of
Mr.
taking
Nandi's
the
doing
first
that thing where he
step in a
breathes through
relationship.
his nose real slowly. I'd better get back to work.
Wait, I'm curious. What do you see in Sebastian?
He doesn't talk much, but he's got this quiet
He doesn't talk much,
intensity,
that's
you
it.
know? Like there's stuff going on inside his head that you have no idea about. Plus, he's got great legs. It's hard to find a man who doesn't skimp on lower body exercises.
That's fair. That's all I need to know?
Sorry, sometimes I get carried away.
Uh-huh. Okay. I mean, I can understand. He shuts up, I get it. Aw, I want this. Guys, will you be mad if I take this? I could kill you. Yeah, look away. Oh, what's this? Sandra's to-do list. Review guidelines for annual self-review. Select for font for annual self-review. Format annual self-review. Schedule time to write annual self-review. Write annual self-review. Tell Celia she's doing an excellent job. If I stand right here. Anyway.
Well, new business turns up at last. Celia, didn't I tell you our new statistics-based advertising model would be a hit?
That you did, sir.
How can yield improvements of 26.7% not quicken the pulse? How can 32% cost savings not moisten the loins?
You've often posed these very questions.
Clear my schedule. This newcomer has a meeting with me.
No, you have a meeting with me.
Did you hear that power play, Celia? They don't make them like this anymore in Halcyon.
They sure don't.
I only hope you don't judge me by my handshake. Now,
I
what
will.
business brings you here?
I'm just looking for the information broker.
Hiram? Why, he's probably still out at Devil's Peak. Not that he's had the courtesy to notify me, at any rate. But if you're here for him, I suppose that means you aren't here for Saltuna.
Hey, it could always be both.
Now, there's no need to humor me. I'm used to this particular letdown.
Seems like you're having a rough time, Mr. Sanjar. Are you doing quite all right?
Oh, don't worry on my account. This is merely the latest in a long line of professional erotic and athletic disappointments.
Okay, that was a lot.
I had hoped that livening up our advertisements with enticing figures would draw the other corporations back to our bosom, but it seems we're back to the drawing board.
If you're free of the other corporations, why would you want to bring them back?
Because he's scared to go it alone. You need the board to hold your hand and tell you everything's gonna be okay. Ain't that right?
Surviving alone isn't as easy as it looks. Thanks
You
to
don't,
the so-called
Felix.
hazard clause, Monarch has been cut off from the board's resources and protection for 10 years now. Now, we've kept ourselves in business by trading with individual corporations, but given the off-the-books nature of those transactions, such arrangements are precarious.
Sounds like you're freer than anyone else in Halcyon. Why not embrace it?
You talk like Graham.
Can't imagine why you'd sneer at the notion of a free colony. Could it be because you're an agent of the establishment?
I used to be young and idealistic
Get it,
too, but
Felix?
you can't run a city on high-minded ideals.
So what do you mean to do about it?
Well, Mr. Nandi here has a rather ingenious plan to get MSI restored to the board.
On our terms, mind you.
Are you out of your mind? You can't just go crawling back to your old masters.
Well, we can't continue to subsist like this either.
And if our advertising scheme hasn't borne fruit, then perhaps it's time we took matters into our own hands.
What's the plan?
It's a two-pronged approach. The first part involves seeing Stellar Bay properly defended.
How long did it take you to figure that you need to defend your own city?
Not long, but the devil is always in the details. And the salient detail here is a Bolt 52 cartridge. If you can get us what we need to rejoin the board, starting the Bolt 52, we'll be able to become one of the most productive and secure cities in Halcyon.
And you'll have a powerful ally on the board.
This Bolt 52 sounds useful. What is it?
Why, one of the strongest defenses in Halcyon. An extremely powerful ordnance.
I was starting to get bored listening to you, till you said the phrase extremely powerful ordnance.
It is quite the rush.
Where do I find one?
In the old arms building southwest of town, which used to be part of Stellar Bay before we had to move our walls in. These days it's overrun with marauders and raptidons.
Then I guess I'll get your Bolt 52?
Do be careful. I've lost more than a few people to marauders and raptidons out there. Oh, and while you're at it, there should be a terminal in the arms building with some dangerous information. Perhaps you could delete it so it doesn't fall into the wrong hands.
Where I go?
What can I do for you?
I have questions about MSI in the good old days.
Then it's good that I keep such meticulous notes.
How did MSI get kicked off the board in the first place?
I've asked myself the same thing many times, especially seeing as the legal mechanisms we employed were part of the board's own bylaws.
Do you mean that you initiated your own removal from the board?
Not intentionally, though that's technically true. For many years, this planet was home to as many corporations as Terra 2. But back then, it was known as Terra 1.
Oh, this is Terra 1. What happened to the other corporations?
As you may have noticed, this planet has more than its share of hazards. And as the other corporations began to tally their losses, they decided to pull out.
But not MSI, right?
Our leadership at the time certainly wanted to. But there were others of us who saw an opportunity. The chance to improve working hours and conditions, to reform MSI from the ground up.
How forward-thinking of you.
It's humane, but it's also good business sense. Exhausted, sick, and malnourished workers are not productive workers. Even
Sure.
a cursory review of the data bears that out.
I hope you'd treat them nice whether it was good business or not, Mr. Sanjar. That's what being a community means. treating people right, because it's the right thing to do.
Word of advice, Sanjar. If Parvati's got something to say, you do well to listen close.
A noble thought, Miss Holcomb. Unfortunately, noble thoughts rarely sway board policy. Anyway, we learned of a loophole in the corporate bylaws that would allow MSI to claim ownership of the entire planet once the other corporations pulled out, creating the perfect environment for us to enact these new reforms.
Using the board's own tools against him, then clever.
That's what I thought. But the senior executives laughed in our faces and insisted we'd be relocating to Terra 2 along with everyone else.
I hope you gave him the finger.
In a manner of speaking, many of us stayed behind in an act of quiet but firm defiance. As the most senior executive remaining, I ended up in charge of what was left of MSI. I moved forward with our planned reforms as well as our strategy to assume ownership of the planet. Yet not long after I renamed it Monarch, the other corporations dislodged us from the board and began an official campaign to paint us as lawless savages.
That's low even for them.
I don't think I realized how far they'd stoop. Everything we did was legal and above board. We followed their rules, and yet they still found reasons to declare us outlaws.
Your first mistake was expecting the board to cut you a fair deal.
It's true.
I understand the sentiment, but if we can't rely on some sort of framework, then what do we have? I do think there's something useful in a governing body like the board. Something that keeps us from anarchy, but I dearly wish it functioned differently.
Yeah. What's the hazard clause?
It's a legal provision that gives the board the authority to cordon off any planet or location that it deems dangerous.
Sounds like the board gave themselves the power to arrest an entire planet.
They would say it's for the greater good.
And they invoked it on Monarch?
Yes, making all of MSI criminals in the board's eyes. Rather hard to run a business that way.
Why exactly do you want back on the board?
Why wouldn't anyone? They own nearly all the resources and infrastructure in Halcyon.
Yeah, and once you go back to him, they'll own your dignity too.
To be on the board is to be part of the colonial community, and being cut off means slow strangulation.
They've treated you pretty roughly. Is it worth going back to that?
I'm not a man to put pride before progress. If membership on the board can ease our hardships and provide us with opportunities, then that's the path I mean to pursue. Besides, I'm hopeful that additional leverage on our part will allow us a more equitable relationship.
Leverage?
Don't get ahead of yourself, sir.
Yes, it'll be easier to explain once we have the Bolt 52. My hope is to maintain the reforms we've managed here, and who knows? Perhaps once we're restored, we could spread them to other corporations.
Interesting. You don't seem to think much of Graham.
He and his followers call themselves the Iconoclasts. Lawless anarchists, all of them. If anyone on Monarch deserves the reputation the board's pinned on us, it's them.
Got strong feelings on the matter?
I'm trying to build something here. They only want to destroy things, and they risk ruining Monarch for all of us. It isn't just that they drain our people and resources. Every radical act they commit cements Halcyon's image of us all as destructive rebels, and pushes us further from the rest of the colony.
So, what's the downside?
Shall I begin with the supply shortages, or the subtle but constant threat of annihilation? He's lucky the board doesn't take him seriously enough to keep more than a few UDL gunships patrolling Monarch.
An Earth Directorate assault cruiser would change his tune. It's almost a shame we haven't seen one around Monarch in a long while.
I met Grim, the landing pad guard.
I see. And was his delivery of the MSI authorized greeting up to snuff?
He did a bang-up job.
Well, that's excellent. I'll see that your feedback makes it into his review. What
Good.
else can I do for you?
That was a lot. So it seems like we're going to be deciding the fate of this planet also. That's just dandy. Just what I needed. There's people in here. No reason to worry about that. Terminal is only to be used for official communication on behalf of Monarch Stellar Industries. A summary report on conditions within Stellar Bay. Productivity has continued to improve since relaxing MSI's old restrictions and making allowances for employee benefits such as time off for illness and personal leave, 24.9% reduction in shift length, and 52.3% more positive feedback. Fishery output is up to 15.2% this year, showing a continuing but slow growth trend. Decreased gains compared to previous years are likely due to deterioration of materials and morale, occasional shortfalls in air supplies, and the gradual loss of personnel to marauders, 7.2%, hostile wildlife, 10.3%, and iconoclast recruitment, 17.4%. Reconciliation with the board remains a long-term goal, but the immediate concern is defending the city from hostile elements. Repairing damage to the city walls, consuming approximately 32.8% of our annual budget. The best solution would be an influx of skilled defenders and weaponry, but given the aforementioned factors and their effects on the local population, such a solution remains unlikely. I wonder if we could, like, switch his mind from the board. Like, it would be really nice to have somebody on the board that is in severe debt to us, but at the same time, like, I really like them being free, you know? Messiah, our profit margins are stellar. MSI Saltuna, 43.28% more nutrient-dense than the leading brands. Stellar Bay, a tolerable center of commerce in a hostile and chaotic galaxy. Work slogans. Okay. You guys filing stuff? You like it here?
If you leave town, watch out for iconoclasts. They're almost as bad as the Raps.
Whatever you say. What's this? Notes of for revisions. Your report looks excellent. The numbers are front and center, and you highlight our recent production gains nicely. One small adjustment. Could you increase the page margins by 17.3%? I want them to match the formatting of other reports for maximum readability. Sanjar. Hey.
I hope your being here means the board is loosening their restrictions.
It does not. I'm just really good. Note Otto, I've been checking your hours and you're well past due for some time off. Why don't you take a few days? You spend entirely too much time staring at that terminal. There's only one terminal here. Guys, can I just have this? You guys just, like, look away. I want this.
What do you think you're doing?
I was just leaving.
Just don't make more paperwork for me, alright?
Sorry. I really wanted it. Yeah, I know a decrease is fine. I'll increase it whenever I save the town.
Velma seem out of sorts to you?
She's always cranky.
No, I mean, more than usual.
Wouldn't know. I made it a point to stay out of her way.
That's fair. I do need heavy ammo. There's a person staring at me right there. They were put there to stare at that box. Let's go this way. Hello. Resident. Left field tossball betting. I need beans. Okay? You guys don't understand. Oops. Oh, I wonder if that's why I couldn't hack that thing. That doesn't affect my hacking, does it? Let's see. Hack. Oh, yeah, no. Hi. I need hack 55 and I only have 48, so. What's in here? Hello? Wow. Excuse me, I'm just gonna... Any posters in here I can take? Dang, that would be really nice. I like how I got all quiet too when I was sneaking around. Like, la la la, I didn't just rob you blind. La la la. Hey.
Ooh, you're the new face. Wow, you must be up on all the latest tossball games.
Sure not.
So who do you follow? Wait, don't tell me. You look like a Hammersmith Thunder fan. No, Glacial H Mammoths.
They're all pretty great.
Aren't they just? When I get to worrying about the marauders outside, the raptidons chewing at the walls, I just turn my transceiver up to drown it all out. Most of the time it's static on account of the frequency being clogged up, but sometimes it's tossball.
You get to listen to games all day? Stellar Bay really is a paradise.
It's pretty swell, but it's a whole lot better with company. Say, I don't think I've seen you before, and I'd remember that face.
Oh?
I'll try not to be a stranger then. Name's Felix, by the way.
You should stop by more often. The games are always better when you've got someone to celebrate with.
Sounds like a good time. I wouldn't mind bringing a couple drinks and settling in for the pennant match.
Look at me, getting carried away again. So,
don't mind
what
me.
can I do for you?
You said you were having trouble receiving the tossball game transmissions?
Graham's always filling the airwaves with his propaganda. Like it's done him any good. All it means is the tossball games get to us in fragments. Makes them real hard to watch.
Interesting. Well, thanks for letting me rob you and flirting with my friend. Oh, there's an up there. What's this way? Yeah, come inside, guys. Is there anybody in here? Doesn't look like it. I'm gonna close this. Just double checking. Nobody in here. Need this food. So hungry. Must eat food. I don't know what any of this is. Can't get on that computer either. Okay. Place is so big. This lets me go up here, which I did not go up from the other end. And just be on people's roofs, don't mind me. Ooh. Oh no! God. Damn it, I knew I was gonna break my leg. I was trying really hard not to do that. Let's try that again. Oh, hey guys. Enjoying your time up there. Let's go down the ladder this time. As much as I hate, like, this. Now we're on this side. Ooh. Don't mind if I do. I guess that's the only way to get over here. Weird. Wonder if it's even like a good plasma carbine. Carbine? Carbine. Carbine? I don't know. Let me know. I feel like it could go either way. I feel like these places are so big too because I tend to hit every tiny little piece of it, like this area, and rob everybody blind. As many people as possible, anyway. It's not my fault they leave their stuff laying around, you know? What's in here? Hello.
Hello, dearie.
I haven't heard your name.
Well, I don't believe I've seen you before. And with sweet cheeks like those, I'd remember.
Thanks.
What can Auntie Abigail do for you?
I'm gonna have to pick up a caffeinoid supplement.
And what a helpful young lady you are. Nothing like a little pill to liven up the spirits. Who's your lucky friend, dearie?
I don't know, Auntie. You'll have to pry that secret from my sweet little cheeks.
Aren't you a saucy thing?
Yeah.
I may not be a fresh young thing anymore, but with age comes experience, dearie.
Uh-huh. Why don't you show me a thing or two?
Much as I'd love to. My rheumatism is especially fierce at the moment, and I'm all out of my medicine.
Ugh, sorry,
But
man.
I'd hate to send you away empty-handed. You were here for caffeinoid, weren't you? Who's it for?
It's for me.
I'm so sorry, but with the iconoclasts and the marauder filth chasing away what little trade we get, I'm afraid I have to reserve my supply for Stellar Bay residents. Our reserves have gotten so low, I've even had to start locking the supply room upstairs. Isn't it a shame what some people will do to get a little
Easy.
extra?
Okay. That's just awful.
Isn't it just? I'd make an exception for you if I could, my little cherub. Is there anyone else needing a special pickup from Auntie Abigail?
Nyoka?
Oh, her. It's none of my business, but I have told her Dr. Williams would bump up her monthly allotment if only she'd join MSI. Contribute like the rest of us. Now I've gone and said too much. And you know me, dearie. I don't like to pry.
Don't you? When can Nyoka get her next dose?
I'm afraid it'll be the better part of a month. Our dear Nyoka tends to exhaust her supply rather quickly. Believe me, there's nothing I'd love better than to help you, but there's not much I can do. Dr. Williams managed the town's allotments from his terminal upstairs. Even I can't access them.
Thought you were in charge around here, Auntie. You sure ought to be.
Oh, you flatter an old woman. Me, I'm just here to be a pretty face for the customers. And to keep an extra key to the supply room, for all the times Dr. Williams misplaced his.
Forgetful fellow, huh?
Careless experimentation with medicinal substances does take its toll, eventually.
Where can I find Dr. Williams?
In the town graveyard, I'm afraid. Poor man was always searching for the flower of enlightenment. On the way, he tried some
Confused.
rather daring substance combinations.
Flower of Enlightenment?
It's a philosophist symbol of some kind, dearie. Never you mind.
Huh.
The graveyard's near the southern ruins. You're certainly welcome to pay our respects, but the bodies tend to attract beasties.
You're gonna go tussle with some raptidons? Because I've been practicing my dropkick.
Do be careful. I'd hate for anything to happen to you, dearie. Chin up, dearie.
Well, that was unpleasant, to say the least. So the guy in charge is dead. Take that. I mean, I could just break in. What's she gonna do about it? You just go cry upstairs. Ha ha ha. Play login. Oh, wow. Create a new account. Account setup requires a persistent connection to the central communications tower. Connection offline. Okay. Weird. There's a back door. Well, I can't do it that way. Up there. Look like it. Okay. So we explored all that. This is not. Oops. Not a door. I love alleyways like this. It's just free loot. Nobody can complain about free loot. I mean, probably the people who see it as their stuff, and then I just waltz in and take it like I own the place. But that's their problem. Alright. That looks ominous. Big door you got there. Oh, come on. This is stealing? You don't need this.
Not a peep for me.
Yeah. It's not worth it. This might be worth it. I mean, I have 1,001 of them, but... Nobody saw that.
Help! Someone's been killed!
Huh? Where? Hello? You said that?
I think I'm gonna be sick.
Pull yourself together and tell me what happened.
I clean the apartments while everyone's at work. I've seen all sorts of messes, but this... If you're going into the apartments, do not go into the lower one on the right. That's where the body is. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to go contemplate a hot shower.
Okay, well, I guess these are the apartments. Kind of run out of time, though, haven't we? Let's look in here real quick. What is this place? Another bar? There's a box of bits in there. Anybody want them? No? No? Okay, no. Yeah, screw you guys. Oh, hi.
Good day to you.
Day two. Oh, hi.
Whoa, by the stars, my poor heart. I just about pissed my jumpsuit.
Sorry, I didn't mean to startle you.
Most people don't.
We're used to folks swooning at our feet. You don't gotta be embarrassed.
It's true.
A healthy survival reflex is nothing to be embarrassed about. Besides, this place is enough to try anyone's nerves.
Ever thought about leaving Stellar Bay?
Only every day. But in case you haven't noticed, we don't exactly get ships on a regular basis, yours notwithstanding. And even if I did scrape together enough to buy passage out with sublight, which would mean reaching Fallbrook without getting eaten, shot, or dissolved into green goo, what then?
Well, why don't you just tell me?
Nothing. That's what.
Oh.
Because MSI is not in what you'd call good standing with the board. So even if I could get out of here, no one's gonna hire me.
Sounds rough.
Even talking about it has my blood pressure up.
Sorry.
I've really gotta stop.
What do you have against this town?
Where should I begin? With the oversized mantisaurs? Or perhaps the rap spewing acid at our walls? The board was right. This place isn't fit for human habitation. And I was a fool for staying.
Why did you decide to stay in the first place?
Sanjar, of course. He had all these glorious ideas about how he'd run Monarch. Rest periods between every work shift. No shift more than 10 hours long. It all sounds wonderful, until you realize it's only a few centimeters of repurposed steel between you and the deadliest creatures in the galaxy.
You could just kill them all. Seems like you'd want more than centimeters.
I could do with a few kilometers of cold vacuum, but that spaceship is flown.
Alright.
Lucky you.
Sorry you're so upset about life. Fish. I guess they eat a lot of fish around here. Boop-a-doop-a-doo. Let's go upstairs real quick. Kind of want to investigate the murder, though. Oh, what's this? Oops, that was ceiling, but that's okay. Like, there's nobody up here. Say now. So Gotta be more careful. Who could actually see me? They could get up here easily, but that's not the point. Oh. Hey, just stay out there, okay? Ooh, vortex mace. I don't know if anything that we found here is better than what we already have, but you know.
Be right over.
Let's take a quick gander. No. Grenade launchers, no. That seems fun. That seems good. Eh. I think Felix has one that's 340, yeah. I think we can also, I didn't even realize this, you can set his preferred weapon to melee. But I don't know, I like them having options, so I mean his melee is so much better though. Maybe I will set him to melee. Oops. Her melee is really pretty good too. I don't know. I'll leave her mixed though. That way I can have somebody shooting some stuff. Okay. I think that's where I'm gonna end this episode. Next episode, I guess we'll try out our inspector skills and go in there and figure out who got murdered, I guess. This town is large, but we're making our way through and probably finding more trouble than we really ought to, really. Did I talk to you? Who are you?
Watch your step if you venture outside the walls.
Got it. Alright, with that advice in mind, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.